Mariusz is a big fan of CodeGen. Let's give a round of applause to cheer him up before the session about From Zero to Hero about Cloud Codes.
Thank you, Pavel. First of all, thank you to that I can be here. I'm Mariusz Korzekwa. I want to show you a bit of Claude Code, or Cloud Code, as first, okay, so I am a bit a generalist, I can say, because I was in this all 10 years of experience on each front of the development. I'm also like very early adopter of AI assistant coding. So in the very first few days when the Copilot was released, I've jumped in on it and started to tinkering on it. So my tour progression was from the Copilot to Cursor to IDE Chat and the Cloud Code. And since the IDE Chat, I started to have like a core belief in myself that CLI agentic coding applications is far better than the GUI, for example, Cursor, because it's enabling the true automation and like pipeline integration. You can do a lot of things with it, which you can't do with GUI applications. Currently, I am a co-host of the Generatywni YouTube channel. We started it 3 months ago, 2.5, yeah, 2.5 years, months ago, and we already have 1,070 subscribers. So as young channel as this is, for me personal, is a great success. So you can subscribe us on YouTube, and also if you are developers and you like not doing some interesting, you can show or think at Generatywni channel as a ghost. We are happy to show you. In the daily basis, I work on the Rumblefish, is a blockchain and AI development company based on Krakow with years of experience in full stack product and product of development. So what is Claude Code? It's an AI coding assistant created by Anthropic. It lives inside your terminal, so it supports MCP servers. It reads entire code bases using full text search, makes changes across multiple files inside your repository, and also integrates with VS Code and JetBrains. It can handle full workflows automatically, so from the user single like prompt or specification to created code through the many like different steps. And why Claude Code fits for me? It's because it lives in terminal. It has planning mode, so no need to plan MD files. It is interactive or headless mode. You can use it in the both ways. You can hack it, script it, automate it, whatever you want with it. It can run any CLI task, not just code. So for example, you can be not only the developer, but you can make some extensive web researches or make some specifications with it. I will show you later how to do it. It also follows the Unix philosophy. So this tool is some sort like only a building block, right? So you can do whatever you want with it and design your perfect workflow with it. So it can fit into your like workflows instead of instead of that you are using the workflows which the producer of some application wants you to use. Quick installation is like very quick, as Pavel said, is a single npm install command. Pricing is a bit specific because first of all, on the below you can pay as an API, so Anthropic tokens. It's based on usage, so on very heavy loads may be very pricey. And there is also the subscription versions, so Pro, Max 5 and Max 20. Each have a different pricing. So 20 per month, 100 per month, and 200 per month. So from the casual development and learning to a very intensive development with multiple sessions and heavy usage of Opus. So it's no problem to switch up and down wherever you want. It also have limits. Currently, there are limits are per 5-hour period, and it reset every 5 hours. So for example, take this Max 5 subscription. So when you will pay $100 per month, you will get on every 5 hours the 88,000 of the output token. So Claude Code can generate the 88,000 tokens of code or thinking process, etc. The code usage is both from the input and output tokens. So on every 5 hours, you can spend the $35, and in that period of time, you can also like send 1,000 messages. On the different subscriptions is like the you can see on the table. And when people start noticing that paying, for example, only $100 per month, but in the end getting the much more in the 5-hour period, the people start to changing their time, the sleep pattern to Claude Code. There is even a few records on it on the internet. So yeah, optimizing my sleep around cloud usage limits. So yeah, like honestly, it's also happened to me once or twice when I sitting like during the night and I check, oh, it's 5 more minutes. I need to wait to spin up the new limit reset, so I will wait. Okay, quick checkout on the internal tools for the Claude Code, because the Claude Code itself have different tools which it use in the internal, like under the hood, right? So for example, there is a task. It can break down your complex problems. I mean, your like the user. It can plan mode, so it can strategic planning and making to-do lists with the to-do right tools. It has glob, grep, ls, read, so it can find and explore files using full text search. It can also write, edit, and multi-edit, so working on the files operations. It can use web search and web fetch by Anthropic API, so to get external information. It also has bash, so it can execute like any command from your host machine. So it can be developer servers, like whatever you want to run it. If you create some CLI application to like, I don't know, run the test for you instead of PyTest, for example, like one of our colleagues on the Discord, then you can, right? It can use also MCP. So you as a user can add a lot of MCP servers. Okay, so now I will have a few quick videos in order to different topics. Simply, I didn't want to create a real demos. So in here, you can see that you can like using the Claude Code VS Code extension, you can install it, and after that you will get an additional like run Claude Code command inside of VS Code. I believe that in the JetBrains you can do exactly the same, but I do not use like JetBrains, so yeah. So it's very helpful, because in the single like environment you will have Claude opened in the single tab, the files on the like other tab. It might be very like normal for the developers like you, right? But if someone is not developer, but for example want to like tinkering with the Claude Code, you can use it like in the inside of the IDE. Okay, so there is a plan mode, as I mentioned before. So on the very beginnings of the vibe coding like communities, the people often say that use the plan.md files in order like before to start coding. So it's creating some sort of like specifications. In Claude Code, you don't even need that plan.md files more, because on the using the Shift tab you can turn it on the plan mode. So you will during the writing of the prompt or the specification, the Claude Code will do not have like the edit files. It will have only access to the read, like the read tools. So it will not change anything in your code base, but it creates an extensive plan how to change something on your repository. So in here, as you can see, I tapping the command tab, sorry, Shift tab, to change it to the plan mode, and I like adding the initial prompt, and the Claude Code starts to like running the each tools. For example, it's first starting checking the list of the files in the current repository. It run MCP servers, which I have installed. So for example, to check the APIs of the Fast API, Pydantic, SQL model, etc. This works well because often models have this knowledge cutoff, and using the external MCPs like the context 7 on the rev.tools, you can easily cover this gap between the like the model cutoff and the actual libraries versioning. So in here, the Claude Code create a plan ready to code, and I can say to him that no, I can say to him yes, and auto accept all the edits. No, keep the planning, and in here I'm typing the third option, and I saying to him add user module, and it starts updating the plan itself. So on the next iteration of the plan, I see that it's added the users module, right? And now I will accept this plan, and the code of this whole plan was creating on the left, like on the files, right? So we don't need to like right away create the files, but it's better to first create the plan itself, and then when the plan is ready, so we can create like 10, 15, 20 iteration on the single plan, and then we can accept it, and the Claude Code will start to code. So it's some sort of creation, like a initial specification for Claude Code. Okay, so now we have different commands because the Claude Code, because it's not a GUI application, it do not have like a physical buttons, I mean UI buttons, so it has slash commands. It's built in shortcut for common actions, so you can init use /inits. For example, it's create the initial repository command. It will create your repository memory, etc. I will mention that later. It can clear, so the reset the session, resume, so resume the last session. It can check the context, so like the context filling where you can check how many messages you have currently in context, how many files, etc. It can have also, you can check the installed MCP servers. So there is currently, I don't know, around 20 different commands. As you can see, I'm looping in here over those commands. Yeah. And there is also MCP servers. Currently, I'm using only these three. If you are interested, Playwright MCP, it's some sort of a browser usage. So Claude Code can use, for example, Chrome browser in order to test or to like research something using the Playwright. Context 7 MCP, it's fetching new libraries, docs, as I mentioned before. And Gina MCP is an official Gina MCP. It was released like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's great with web research, URL extractions, etc. It even like extracting the archive documentations, so PDFs. So now from the Claude Code itself, you can like make extensive research based on the archive documents using Gina MCP. So like colleague in here mentioned, there is also custom commands. So it's your personal or team automation shortcuts. It can be reusable among the projects and teams. It will be stored in the cloud/commands for the project or in your user directory, crowd/commands. So anything can be custom command. Whatever you like want, for example, web research, so simple prompts, documentation creation, documentation updates, finding some to-do commands in your code, whatever you like imagine, you can create the custom commands with it and just run it from the UI of the Claude Code. And in here it will be like longer video, because in here we are using the Claude Code itself for creating the custom commands for Claude Code. So in order to do not like figuring out how to create the Claude Code command itself, you can use the fetching abilities, for example, Gina MCP and internal fetching Claude Code commands to tell the Claude Code, create Claude custom command based on Claude Code documentation. This command should create Git conventional commits, right? So it's very straightforward, like a prompt for creating a custom command. So I also entering the plan mode. He starts fetching different stuff from Gina MPC, a lot of different URLs, and it's created a plan based on that URLs. This was very fast because I've like speed up this video, but it takes around like 1.5 minutes or so. So it created a nice plan how to create a command for conventional commits, but I have a problem. So I do not like accepting this plan, but I'm adding a comment to this plan. This comment should have prefix git colon, right? Because maybe in the future I want to use like git colon ER or something like that, right? So it will create an additional plan, the plan update, and I see that on the middle of the screen in the directory structure, it create a git subfolder, so I know that it will have the git like the prefix with the git commit, right? So I creating it, I'm accepting it. It's creating a command. I can on the right I can see how this command will look. This is like a feature of the VS Code like integration, because it's not very visible on the CLI itself. So in the VS Code, in this show that you can like it showing you the right the shape of the future file which will be created, right? So and it's asking me, do you want to make this edit to commit.md file? And I'm clicking yes. And the command will be created. The command is created, it's shown in the right place inside of the cloud directory, and now I will be run it. So take a look on the left side, every file is like green, so it's mean that it's not currently committed. So I will run this new created git commit. So git commit is running, and it's like creating a git commit with a conventional like statuses and description. So in this way you can create a new commands, create the updates, update your commands file, etc. So it's pretty fun to create the commands. Yeah. Okay, so back to the very initials. There is a claude.md file. Claude Code memory, this is some sort of a Claude Code memory of your project. It's auto-load project configuration. So whenever you are sending the messages to Claude Code to Anthropic servers, the claude.md file is like added to a system prompt. It bridges gap between Claude and your code base. So it should include some stacks, some commands, additional commands. I mean, not Claude Code commands, but for example, npm run some developer servers, the structure of your repositories, the rules, etc. You should also like skip the history, maybe the documentation, because the claude.md have some like very light limit of the 40 kilobytes, and if you start like extending those 40 kilobytes of length, it can like starts working slowly, and you even will notice the information in the Claude Code itself that, hello, your claude.md file is too big, you need to chop it or something. And on the legacy repositories, you need use the /init command in order to like spin up the cloud, and the cloud itself will create this claude.md file for you based on your whole repository. So so you don't need to read the whole claude.md file by yourself. Even here, you can, after the initial implementation of the claude.md, you can use the Claude for updating of the claude.md file. For example, telling him, please add this rule to claude.md, and it will add it somewhere in the claude.md, because the claude.md file is for LLM itself. It's not for human. So it will be even better that Claude will create their own like memory file, right? With their own like system, like I mean like the structure. Okay, so the Claude Code has its thinking mode. It's created by internal thinking keywords. So if you, for example, inside of the prompt use think or think hard or ultra think, it will provide the thinking budget for the LLM itself. So ultra think is the mode for the maximum thinking budget. So higher thinking budgets will like shorten your limits of usage, right? You will be you will have higher limits usage. So your 5 hours period will shrink, and you will end it faster. Okay, so next big topic is a Subagents. It's a specialized AI assistance for specific task. it has them have independent context, so no more spillover and no garbage into main Claude process. It has auto or manual invocation, so if you type something, for example, research something in the internet, the main process of Claude will know that it should spin up the agent for research in the internet or libraries, etc. It has very simple architecture, so max is one branch depth, so it can't be like run cloud subagents to cloud subagents yet, because I don't know what Anthropic will do with that, because it's a pretty common like feature request. And it also can be stored in the cloud/agents in project or in user, so you will able to use for all your projects, right? So the subagents the custom commands can be committed and shared across the team in order to every member of the team can use it. And here I have a little creation of the subagents. For agents creation, the Claude Code has the internal /agents command. So I can create a new agent in here in the project scope, generate with Claude. And here I will paste some additional like agents description. So based on Claude Code documentation, create subagents for web research. It should use Ninja MCP for web search and URL extraction. It should enrich the initial query, make many alternatives of such query, and start researching on it. On output, it should return research of the input topic, right? So we clicking enter, agent is generating. Here we can pick the exact tools to which these agents will like have access. For this demo, I'm clicking the all tools. I use the Sonnet because we can use the different models for each subagent, and we can give him some color. And there is a like a subagents summary. And in here, the subagent was created in the Claude agents web research agent. So there is a file with the subagent, right? And now we are like running it. So for example, we are not invocating it directly, but we are asking the Claude Code. So we are asking the Claude Code to make a research about thinking tokens and thinking mode in Claude Code, right? So the main process of Claude will spin up the web research agent to research thinking tokens and thinking mode. So for example, if I will be inside of the coding process, for example, and some TDD loop, I do not want to like garbage my main Claude Code like instance in order to, for example, make this all calls to Gina MCP to research something which I need currently in the development process. So for me, especially, those type of subagents is the best one. So web research agents, etc. I will talk about this in a moment, but in here, let's look how it will finish the work. Yeah, and in here we can see that this Claude Code will was run 1 minute 44 seconds, and like go through a lot of different URLs over the internet using this Gina MCP, and it found a few key findings for how to enable the natural language triggers for the thinking budgets in Claude Code. Right? So when you already have created the web research agents on the Markdown file, you can easily use the Claude Code itself in order to like extend it, maybe fix it, etc. So the Claude Code itself can easily upgrade your existing Claude Code workflows. So, and I encourage you to do that in that way. Okay, so there is also hooks, because you can automate your Claude Code workflow in order to like offload different stuff from the main Claude Code process or the agentic subagent process. So for example, when the file will be before the file edit, right, or the after the file edit, you can run a hook to block the RM removing the file, to sudo commands. You can make auto formatter and linter for Python or JS or whatever other language. After edits, it can like spin up some testings. It can also run Slack notification when Cloud needs some input, right? Or it's finished work. It can also load some additional context, git statuses on session starts, but it's more advanced topic, so I do not have the video on it because we can talk 2 hours on it. Okay, so the very main informations about the Claude Code itself, it's already like you all already know that. You don't need more than this 4 or 5 information to start of using Claude Code. But I have a few slides of tips for you because based on my experience, and I honestly telling you that the configuration of the Claude Code or other tools like that, less is better. Do not over-engineering it. Create your own processes instead of copying and pasting from, for example, Claude Code, some repositories or from some YouTube folks, because it's better to have like a 3 commands and 2 sub-agents which you are using daily on your processes instead of like a 20 copy-pasted commands and sub-agents from some weird repository, right? And you do not even what happens in those commands, sub-agents, etc. So try to iterate your configuration process because in my opinion, our main goal with those code gen applications is to help us programming and increase our programming abilities, and do not to stick to creating the golden workflow of the Claude Code, because it starts to change to procrastination instead of programming. Okay, you need to remember that Claude Code itself is a blank canvas on every new session. So it's do not nothing, totally. It's like a man with a flashlight, and he needs to use different type of tools, of full text search tools to look on the different, to using this flashlight to look at the different stuff in your code, right? But if you, for example, your code structure will not be well fitted, well structured, and instead of having the user's model in the models/user.py, you will have folks.py, right? Or so weird different name structure. 100% it won't find it. So you need to format your code in proper standards like domain-driven design, explain to Cloud how to create core for LLM instead of a human, because you can ask the Cloud how to improve the structure of your code, of your repository, for better code searching and retrieval. Because searching for LLMs and for agentic coding applications is far harder than coding for LLMs, especially in large repositories. And tips for security. Try to deny the following commands using /permission command. Deny the read from the .env file, deny bash rm, deny maybe npm deploy in order to do not destroy your even staging development application. If Claude, for example, it's from my point of view, I didn't have committed files, and it remove the old files entirely instead of it's deleted a lot of my files instead of during the refactoring process. So after that I added the rule to claude.md. Instead of removing the files completely, you will move them to remove directory instead. So also use a git a lot and read generated code, because you never know what's inside, and LLMs have weird ideas. So tips, documenting, and in my opinion is the most important thing I think, because you need to understand that Claude Code and also other LLMs always assumes that all code in your current repository is intentional. So including undocumented leftovers from some refactorings, right? if you will start coding on the undocumented code and he will not know that that this part of the code is from some leftover from do not finished like migration or etc., it might start like repeating the old do not migrating patterns. So it's best, from my perspective, document all the structural changes, refactoring etc., in architecture design records. It's a IDE shorts is a very well described like pattern on the internet. So you can add info about the IDE directory inside to the claude.md that he can like research those the other IDE markdown files in order to know what was happened like in the past history of your project. So you can also add custom command for creating those IDE files from current history and run it after big changes in your repo. You can easily create also hook, for example, to even automate it more. But I really strongly encourage you to do such or similar thing, to documenting code directly to LLM read, because those files is more for LLMs, not for humans. Okay, token savings. Sometimes it will be better to like step up on the stage, take the wheel as a human, because your IDE will rename a class or move a file far faster than LLM, because LLM will need to like replace 40 imports on the different files, and your IDE will create it flawlessly without any problems. So in my opinion, for example, you not should, but you could run dev servers with reloading instead like forcing Claude to run itself, because if you run many different like Docker containers, the Claude can do not close the previously created Docker containers. It can try to kill them, and after 10 minutes of looking at the Claude trying to kill the weird different containers, you like type the escape to cancel it work, and you will faster like kill the containers by yourself. So also try hide logs in tests, show only tests that fail, use hooks for automatic lintings. All that info should be added to claude.md. So whatever you want to that Claude should behave somehow, you should tell him that, hey Claude, here is some rule for you, and please update your claude.md with this rule, like, and it will like put this rule in the claude.md file. Okay, and this is take the wheel, as I said before, because if Claude is failing like 5 times straight, then forcing it to do that is like gambling, because you like paying then the next $5 and you buying chips in order to like maybe you will be like successful in the next round, right? With the Claude Code is like exactly the same, and it's easier is for you to jump into the process as a human and debug it, fix it, etc. So try to use the 80 to 20 Pareto rule, where the 80 is LLM and 20 is human. For me, is having the best results. And on the end, I have a few add-ons to Claude. First of all is claude-monitor. It's a very simple tracker for Claude, like expense, tracking the limits, etc. And the last thing, this is my like golden gem from the last 2 weeks. This is tdd-guard, because in my like the workflow, I using tdd workflow a lot, so test-driven development, and the Claude Code has, and other LLMs too, have a like tendency to over-engineering all different stuff. So instead of like creating like bicycle or some small function, it will create a function with a subset of different additional features which you might maybe need it in the future. So the guardian of the TDD process use hooks, like Claude Code hooks, to stop Claude itself if it wants to over-engineering the process of the TDD creation, right? So for example, it will not allow you to implement the feature before the test. It will not allow you to implement like a whole class with the many different tests. You will be like it will be block, so you will need to only create single test and then single like feature implementation. It will be back to running this test, and so on and so on. So it's under the hood, the tdd-guard it runs a second Claude Code instance, which makes all the validations. So yeah, so from my perspective, it's all from my side. We can keep in touch if you want, and if you have any questions about those topics or different topics from Claude Code, I'm happy to help.
Round of applause for Mariusz. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will allow 3 public questions because maybe someone on the live stream wants to hear them as well, and we will slowly close. Question number 1. Question number 2. I have here.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I migrate from Cursor to Claude Code, and I'm missing one thing because, okay, when I start Cloud to work, it do the things. I always auto-accept because sitting all the time and waiting for every change in every file is exhausting. So I give him field to work. So how you revert work when things go wrong during the generation?
Like use git commit.
Okay, yeah, but
I mean, like, from my perspective, is the simplest like stuff is the better for us, because you can even like inside of your you can have a hook in the Claude Code itself. So on the every prompt which you are typing, you can the Claude Code itself will add additional like the prompt, right? Will be concatenated to the prompt which you already created. So for example, you can the Claude Code hooks can automatically commit your workflow, for example. So on every your message to Claude Code, the commit will be created. So even if all the files which will be created afterwards will be like to the trash, you can undo this commit and try again. I've seen folks to even like run the git subtree in order to run the very identical question, prompt to the cloud on the same code base in order to parallel the creation process and them picking only the right creation from the Claude Code, but is like eating the tokens as well.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your great presentation. One question regarding Subagents. So I guess they have this characteristic that they prevent context spillover to the, let's say, the main agent. But what if we actually want to pass some of the context or all of the context? How would you approach it?
I mean, there is no context spillover, so all the internal stuff which the subagent is like creating, for example, like calls to some MPC like servers, right? You don't need those internal steps inside of your main process, but everything you want, for example, some researches, the subagent will create, for example, like report, and it will like pass to the main context of the main Claude Code process, right? So for example, I have subagent which will researching the documentations from the context 7 MCP and from the ref.tools. So the single agent use the 2 MCPs for the like getting the newest information about different libraries, and this subagent will create a small report, for example, how to, I don't know, create the database connection in the SQL model, for example, and it will get this whole report and pass to the main Claude Code process. So the Claude Code main process itself will get only the crucial informations for current like workflow. So yeah, I think that yes.
Round of applause for Mariusz. And I have a privilege to show you last bit, if I may excuse me.